this is where it's gonna end. Well, the first game over of the series, it's because the sewers is a very terrible first area, or beginning area. But, I'll cut when we get back. Quick chime in, just wanted to let everyone know that the Buzzy Beetles do not drop anything. So it looks like that's one less enemy I'll be farming later. And we have returned. Now we just gotta make it past this Cheep Cheep. Who is unfortunately going to be a bit of a jerk to us. But he does let us get mostly by, and at least they're not spiny Cheep Cheeps, so they're not hunting us down. Honestly, in my opinion, once you get past the boss of this place, which is fairly soon, actually, it's coming up right now, I'd say this place gets much easier. Anyways, we do want to farm for some stars in here, which means we're going to be taking some damage and saving that damage. Or healing ourselves up at the save room, I should say. This is our new enemy, Sushi. They are neutral, surprisingly. They won't be harming us until we start attacking them first. Which in my case, I accidentally did. I also should point out that basically none of these enemies drop anything. And I think it's also probably pretty obvious that you can't jump on the spiny Cheep Cheeps even when they're above the water. However, if normal Cheep Cheeps or even the Sushi is above the water, then you can jump on them perfectly fine. And as you can see there's a good reason why you don't want to mess with that Sushi, because his people have rather nasty bites. Oh, I forgot. Just touching the Sushi can trigger it into attacking you. I do wonder, why are these spiny Cheep Cheeps so damn ferocious? But I think that's all the stars we can farm. So here is our boss fight, who also is currently using a bad model that was taken from a game. He's also in very desperate need of a sprite. Although I'm probably going to end up dying in this fight, I do really like the concept. Orobunagi. It's like an Ouroboros, but it's also a Unagi. Anyways, the shell is really good in this fight. Preferably the yellow shell would probably do a lot better, but you know, you can only get what you can. And he doesn't really have any attacks aside from what he's currently doing now. The faster he gets means the closer to death he is. Fortunately, I'm out of shells and stars. So I'm just going to have to rely on good old trusty magic. Oh, it almost looked like I had invincibility frames there. That was odd. And there's the death I was expecting. Well, at least I don't have to do any more star farming, right? So let's just immediately go back into the boss fight and try again. Hi, buddy. So let's try and conserve the shells this time. Yep, I really do hope that everything comes out okay in the recording and you're not like hearing me rapidly pressing my space bar to jump. Yeah, it seems very weird that this boss of all bosses gives you a more invincibility frames. Why did I say all bosses? I meant to say of all enemies. And that's a dead Unagi. Overall, I do really like the general concept and all that good stuff of the boss. Although, fighting him gives me flashbacks of both the Eater of Worlds and the Destroyer from Terraria. Anyways, most boss rooms in this game kinda have enemies in them after you to take out the boss. This one has 2 sushis, just casually enjoying life. A mysterious grate in the sewers. Who would put a grate in sewer water? Don't we have anything better to do, Spiny Cheep Cheep? I should remember that I can duck, because that seems to be the one trait and ability in this game that I never remember that I have or that I can do. Which is very weird, because there are a lot of good areas that I can duck under projectiles. Anyways, let's get attacked, viciously mauled by a shark. By some Japanese seafood. And down this long tunnel is our first relic, the hard butt, which performs the butt stomp, which to be honest, that all sounds stupid, so I'm just going to call it the ground pound. Ground pound deals more damage, and it's, well, it's a ground pound. It can break things from under you. Alright, I'm not gonna kill myself trying to show you guys the ground pound's damage. Word of advice, though, because of the invincibility frame thing, you will take a hit after a ground pound if you don't kill the enemy with that ground pound. So be sure you know the enemy is weak enough and never use it on bosses, or that's basically just asking for it. And that was an Ice Rana plant, the first one of the game, and we immediately get our next weapon, which is a rare drop from it, the Ice Flower. Wow. So, yeah, I will